Good morning, everyone. Hey, Lucas.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. Very good morning to you.
You as well.
You already get your workout in?
No, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait after this. Then I'll do it.
I got you. So Lucas Pribble is with me. This is Power Hour with 365 Strong. Lucas recently broke the world record that he himself held previously. I guess that's the first thing. Lucas's progress over the last several months, going back to May 19th, I did some research, Lucas, ahead of time. Lucas did a 474 single-ply bench at 198 pounds. And that was May 2019. Then in February of this year, Lucas, you went up to 485. And then recently, June 27th, at the backyard meet in Forest, Virginia, Lucas did an amazing 535, just missing 551. Did I get that all right?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
How on earth, I got to start right off and ask, let me enlarge the screen. How did you progress that rapidly?
First of all, I put more effort in the training. If you talk to Coach Bill and Jacob French, they'll say I'm probably the most laziest lifter there is. And, coaches always talked about never miss a workout. Well, I'm one of those examples why I've never missed a workout. And throughout this whole process since February of benching 474, I never missed a workout. And through all of that, that's what helped my bench go up. Plus, I stopped doing so much raw stuff. I used the Titan Ram a lot more to let my body recover, to be more prepared for the meets.
Okay, and we're going to go in depth about your training philosophy and tips that you can provide. But how big of an impact has Bill Gillespie been in your lifting career, but also your life?
He's, I always tell people I've had three fathers in my life. Our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, being the first one. My father, earthly father, Keith Pribble, amazing man, has done a lot for me and my family. My whole family has, my mom, my sister, and brother, amazing people. And Coach Bill has taught me how to coach, how he's made a major impact in my life from a Christian standpoint, a man standpoint, teaching me how to lift correctly, how to be a great coach. He's been amazing to me, and I'm so grateful and humbled by everything he has taught me. From a lifting standpoint, he's the one that got me into single-ply. A little backstory, I always thought geared lifting was stupid. To be honest, I was 100% raw guy.
Right.
First time I put a shirt on, it changed my perspective. I gained a new respect for all the geared lifters. It was life-changing, and I'll never go back raw. I'll never do it. It's too much fun. I think it's more of a challenge in the shirt. So when I put that shirt on for the first time, I only did, I think it was 335. I got it. It was a loose shirt, one of Coach Bill's old shirts.
Right.
I got 335. Then I got a shirt that actually fit me. Then I did 405, and I was like, this is it. This is all I'm doing.
Now, talk about how'd you get started with powerlifting in the first place? That's not something that you're just born to do, but you had to learn from somewhere or observe somebody. Was there anyone in particular that you saw and say, I got to try this?
So the story behind that is how I got started powerlifting is the same way I met Coach Gillespie for the first time. There was a guy at my dad's work. He was a huge Virginia Tech fan. and Virginia Tech would put on these bench press competitions. Well, in the spring of 2015, which was my second semester at LU, I signed up for the competition. I went there and won it. Well, while I was there, I was wearing a LU shirt, and a ton of people were coming up to me and saying, "Hey, do you know Bill Gillespie? Hey, do you know blah, blah, blah?" I was like, yeah, but I really didn't. I had no clue who he was. And one guy there told me, "Hey, you should email him, get to know him, blah, blah, blah. He's going to help you a lot with your training." So one day I said, "Hey, I'll do it." I emailed Coach. I emailed Coach Williams, too, was one of the former assistants with Coach Gillespie.
Right.
And so he emailed back, and happened to be I was working at a restaurant in town here in Forest, and Coach and his wife came there, and I went out there and spoke to him, and he invited me to come down to the weight room one day, and the rest is history. That's how I got hooked into powerlifting.
Now, I know you had done full power.
Yes, sir.
Squat and deadlift, that just isn't as much fun to you as benching?
I love the squat.
Maybe a little healthier? What?
Yeah, I love the squat, but I don't like deadlifting, to be honest. I don't – and the reason I don't like it because it takes away from my bench. Benching is my number one thing. It's really the only thing I care about. Deadlifting to me, I'm scared that I'm going to hurt myself for the bench. I've tried hook grip and all that, but it still scares me. And I just don't want to take any chances of messing up my bench at all.
What was your best squat?
600.
Was that raw?
That was single ply.
Okay.
My best raw, I think, was 485, 501. I can't remember my best raw in the squat.
Okay, and this has been over really a very short period of time, right?
Yes, sir.
Because you're only 24 years old, and when did you get started in this? 21, 20?
I think I was 19, 20. I was 20 when I got started.
Yeah. Now, how big of an impact has your faith been?
Oh, it changed my life.
Not only your lifting, but your life.
So a quick testimony. My senior year of high school football was miserable. I tore my ACL 2 days into practice, summer practice. So what I did was I played through the whole season on it. It was a horrible experience. I don't want to talk bad, but I didn't have the best coaching staff in the world, just to be honest. So when I tore my ACL, I found I put all my eggs in this one basket to go play college football. And well, when the time came around, I had no colleges looking at me. I had a couple of D3 schools, but I didn't want to play D3. And I was depressed upon imagine. I didn't have a purpose in life.
So it was everybody's fault. Everybody's fault. Okay, I hear you. Continue.
Yeah, so I didn't have a purpose. I just, it was all me. I put all my baskets in this one thing, and I just didn't have a direction. And I was extremely depressed. But, my mom gave me a Bible. My aunt and my grandmother had a major impact on me. And on December 22nd, 2013, I gave my life to Christ. I was baptized, changed my life forever. Now, everybody thinks once you do that, life becomes easier. It's the totally opposite. You're going to be challenged every day as a Christian. The thing about those challenges is that you learn to become a better person, a better role model for Jesus. And which I've made plenty of mistakes over the years. I've made horrible decisions. But the mercy and love from Jesus is what keeps me going each and every day. And I try to spread that word as much as I can to be a shining light for him in this world, especially in the times we're in now, which I think we need it more than ever in history.
And how has that helped you in your coaching as well? I know you're coaching on the high school level. How's that working?
The coaching has given me a platform to help young men. I can't – there's so many stories where I would have impacted students, but they've impacted me in the same way. Everything I consider, I was like, hey, what do my guys think about this? You know, if I make the wrong decision, you know, this is going to come back, and my players are not going to believe any words I say or anything. So it's been a major impact in that standpoint as coaching with my family. It's helped to change my life, and I'm so humble and grateful to know the Lord and Savior and all the many blessings He's given me.
And do you see that a lot of young athletes now come to you for guidance?
Yes, sir. You know, a lot of thing I've learned in coaching is that a lot of players I've dealt with don't have a father figure in their life. And, you know, it's been a challenge. I've had to take that on a couple of times in my coaching. And it's been a blessing, but it's been tough at the same time because you have to have conversations with players that are uncomfortable. You have to kind of come crack down on them a little bit and say, hey, you know, you better do this, better get right. At the same time, it's like, hey, you know, you've messed up too, but it's been a blessing to do that, to help those young men become better people. And the most rewarding factor from all that is seeing them be successful to other people, but for them to see themselves, hey, I can do this. It's been very rewarding.
I bet. Now, when you coach on that high school level, you help with the strength training of those athletes?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Everything I do in the weight room is 100% similar to what Coach Gillespie has said. I've had former friends, interns of mine that when I was there say they call me the miniature Bill because everything in the weight room is organized. It's in competition, 100% just rolling.
So you go with different stations, like different stations? And
yes, sir. So
okay.
My main focus in the weight room is we focus on the clean. We do hang cleans and power cleans, the bench press and squat. Those are our three core lifts that we do. We roll. What I mean by that is when we go, I turn everything into a competition in the weight room. It makes that environment. It's kind of like what Louis Simmons says with West Side. You got to have that right environment. And the players, the last 2 years I've been at Liberty, the players have seen that, and I call them out on it. We played a really good football team past year, and I told them, you guys look like little scared puppies. So when we play them this upcoming year, you got to have the same mentality in the weight room like you're going to have in the field of no fear. So I preach that a lot in the weight room. That's the biggest thing, is having that strong, competitive environment. To be honest, it's awesome for a player to bench press, 335 pounds.
Right.
But how does that contribute to the football field? It may help an offensive lineman, but it's really not going to help my running back.
That's right. So everything that you do is structured to translate on the field.
Absolutely.
Explosive, fast twitch movements, something like a deadlift.
Absolutely. We don't do quite as many deadlifts. We do a lot of snatch grip deadlifts.
Snatches, yeah.
So they help a lot, and our players see it. I think the biggest thing is I got to contribute to our shop class at the Liberty High School. We had reverse hypers built, and that helped us a lot. The players really enjoyed that.
So what's the status of the football season now?
Well, the VHSL was supposed to make their decision back last month on the 25th, and so they've delayed it another month. I don't see us playing in the fall personally. I see like a more of a spring type deal next year, which is going to be a little weird. But since so much time has been put off, I actually prefer to be played in the spring so players can have the opportunity to recover, to get in shape for the upcoming season, because if we start right now, we start the season in August, it's too much short, and you put players at risk of getting hurt, in my opinion.
No, that's an excellent point because a lot of those kids don't have access to equipment. They can't. Now they can get their running in. Are you monitoring anything? Are you having virtual meetings?
We've had team virtual meetings, but we can't be in contact with them right now because of laws and regulations and stuff like that. We've hadn't seen anything they've been doing. They've been telling us what they've been doing. But
are they going to be coming back? Are they going to be coming back on campus, in school education, or online?
They haven't made the final decision yet, but I'm guessing that it's going to be a limited number coming back on campus, and a lot of it will be online, especially for the juniors and seniors. I'm guessing.
Okay. And obviously, that was the whole strategy behind our backyard challenger meets. So we have a smaller group, and it's easy to, social distance at that point. Okay, so go ahead.
I just want to thank you for putting those on. I was going crazy knowing that, hey, there may not be another competition until next year. And I've made this major progress, and I can't show it. So I just wanted to, thank you and 365 Strong for putting on that event, which was really nice. It was only 5 houses away from my house, and it was very fun.
Yeah, and Jacob only had to walk downstairs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, no, we enjoy those a lot, because it's more personal. We get to know the lifters a little bit more. The lifters, obviously, we want them to always feel special, but literally with the number of lifters in those backyard meets, you can't help to, But, yeah, I thought you had that 551. I really did.
My left arm got out of the groove. I tried to save it, but by the time I realized it, it was too late. I think if I could have catched it a little bit earlier coming up with my left arm, I could have got it. It's definitely there.
Oh, yeah. Strike was excellent. Now, what kind of training tips can you offer so many lifters that are watching in, you hear a lot of things, you read a lot of things, but what has worked for you?
The number one tip I would recommend is don't miss a workout. Don't miss a workout.
Show up.
Yeah, show up. Do something. I've missed workouts and it's destroyed my training. It keeps you progressing, as I like to say. Just don't miss a workout. Do push-ups. If you don't have access to equipment, figure out something. Just don't sit there and do nothing, because from my experience, it's destroyed my bench. I mean, I was at 450 and had to go down to like 395 one time in a shirt because I missed like 3.5 weeks of training.
So everybody's basically a creature of habit.
Yes.
Whatever habits we sustain, obviously is within our comfort zone now. If you stop and you don't do anything physically, well, then you're out of the habit. And it's hard to get back in that habit, what you're saying.
That's correct.
Okay. How about some of the detail, the strategy, the planning that goes in? Do you prep for a meet, or do you, like Bill says, you should be able to take a meet within 2 weeks? Any meet?
I prep for meets. I think that, I look at it and I break it down into parts. So we are 15 weeks away from the World Bench Face-Off right now as we speak. So I've broke it down into 3 different 5-week phases. So this first 5 weeks, I'm just going to be building a base. That's all I'm going to be doing for the first 5 weeks. I'm not going to put the shirt on. I'm not going to, go heavy. I'm just going to basically do 5x5 for every workout for 5 weeks. I'm a big believer in that the back is the most important muscle group in the bench press, the back and the triceps. I don't really focus a lot on my chest. You know, the shirt
Right.
helps a lot with the chest. So I'm gonna be basically doing nothing but base work for 5 weeks. The second phase, 5 weeks, I'm gonna be in the shirt maybe once or twice in those 5 weeks, just to see where I'm at, see how I feel, and you know I'm gonna be doing more like board work and stuff in the slingshot, stuff like that. In the last 5 weeks is when I start to really hammer in singles in the shirt. And I may go once or twice again in the shirt during that phase, and I add in bench pressing against bands. I think bands are a big factor in my progress as a lifter, just for the speed work, you know, to push through it. And isometrics have done a lot for me in the last year.
So the first 5 weeks is raw, is that right?
Yes.
Nothing but raw. And how many reps? How many sets? I mean, give everyone
I do 5 by 5. I do 5 by 5.
5 by 5.
Yep. I'll literally start with 225. Okay, so Monday I'll start with 225. Wednesday I'll go 235.
Right.
Friday I go 245. Monday I go 250. I just keep going for 5 weeks until basically a point where I can't go no more.
How many times do you bench a week?
3 times a week.
3 times a week.
Yes, sir. Monday, Wednesday,
That's what
Friday.
Basically, Bill does the same thing, doesn't he?
Yes.
Okay, just so you all know, again, Lucas is 24, Bill's 60. And, you know, Bill, I don't know if he's had a real serious injury at all by doing that kind of regimen. Now, okay, so you basically kind of inch your way up through the week.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
When I'm not in the base building phase, on Wednesdays I do speed work. It's kind of like a dynamic effort type deal.
Yeah.
I'll do anything from bands, speed bands, or some type of board lockout, really quick stuff. I kind of try to control my CNS as much as possible to be explosive. Because, you know, when you're in the shirt's going to help you a lot at the bottom of the lift. It's all about when you get right here, you got to lock it out. And I think that's one of my strong suits is the lockout. Unfortunately, not with the 551, but yeah, I think that's very important. Isometrics.
It's coming.
Yeah. Pushing against pins is really helped me a lot. I learned a lot of that from Josh Bryant reading his book, The Science. I recommend people to read that book by him.
Now, again, how did you progress 50 plus pounds up in like 3 months doing that kind of work?
I got over my fear. You know, in workouts, I was kind of hesitant because the shirt I've been wearing for the last 2 years is really not that tight on me. I can almost get in it by myself. So I've kind of been fearful for, you know, putting that much heavy weight in that shirt because honestly, it's kind of loose, very loose on me. And so I've ordered another shirt that should be in soon that will actually fit me. I'm planning to use in the World Games. But the shirt, I was always scared to put heavy weight on the shirt because I didn't know how it was going to handle and I couldn't lock it out. But I got over that fear and I put on, I think it was 515 one day working out with Coach. And it was easier. You know, I had to get over, I've learned that maybe heavier weight is a lot easier to get in the shirt. I've had to learn that the hard way.
So you're going to try that 1036 next? 1036?
Yes, sir.
1036. So you're coming after Bill Gillespie.
I tell you, I can't. lifting off for him, I remember the first 365 strong meet I went with him was last year. It was in the summer when he did 903.
Right.
I remember that I got lightheaded after lifting off, just being a side spotter on that lift. And when I lift off, I have to wear my mouthpiece. What people don't get too is when you lift off for him, it's got to be perfect. I've gotten to the point now where I don't want to do it. To be honest, I hate doing it because I'm scared that I'm gonna, mess up big time. And everything's got to be perfect when you're dealing with that amount of weight. Because
Absolutely.
and
Well, it helps that you're in the same gym, you're working out together. You know how he likes it, when he likes it, and vice versa. So it's a good thing that you have a team of people that feed on each other, it seems.
absolutely, it goes back to the point where I was talking about being in that right environment. We have a great group with Coach Gillespie. I've been with some amazing guys over the years when I was an intern. Also recently, we got me, Jacob, Spencer, Keenan, all those guys, amazing guys, Christian guys that have done excellent things. We just try to give back to Coach and everything he's given us. And for us to go down there and help him spot, forgot to mention Zach too. Zach does an amazing job. He lifted off for me in the meet, the backyard meet. He does an amazing job as well. That's a big thing in powerlifting. I think a lot of people take granted for is the spotters and loaders that to make the meets run. And have a group of guys that were willing to spend money and to travel with you makes the world a difference.
Yeah, that's such a huge key to most athletes. You got to surround yourself with, let's say, people with the same mindset, the same goals, the same timeline. Sometimes, because the urgency factor as you get closer plays in, and the energy picks up. You can feel it. Yeah, you got to bring it every day, but just subconsciously, things started getting kicked in with the urgency of the meet coming right around the corner. As far as the importance of spotters and loaders and making sure that the bar's loaded properly. You saw Julius's Maddox 800 bench. You probably saw that.
Yes, sir.
And it's just frustrating as an athlete. It's frustrating to watch something like that take place. And I think that's reminded every athlete, that you need to have your coaches, manager, and even you, if you're lifting, just by yourself, to double check and make sure that it's loaded properly. And
that's a valid point because your life can change in a second. Whether you're bench pressing, driving down the road, or doing whatever, your life can change in a second for the best or for the worst. And if you have a bar misloaded and one side is heavier than the other side, you're taking that risk of tearing a pec, blowing out a shoulder, or doing something. That's why it's always important to have people around you. I've had that mistake. I lifted a lot by myself over the years, but I've been very blessed, to have Jacob right here in my neighborhood. We live together all the time, and going to bench with Coach Gillespie at his place. It's very, very important, not only for you to progress in your lifting, but as a safety measure as well. Always be smart in the weight room. It's not the strongest guy that wins the meets; it's the guy that lifts the most weight. So you got to be smart when you're in the weight room.
Well, I know a lot of times as a promoter or organizer, you have a tendency just to look at the screen. But we make sure that the judges all have loading charts, spotters and loaders have loading charts. Somebody's counting the plates, because people's health is what matters. Now, we've made small mistakes. I mean, all federations have it. They're totally transparent, and it's something that I don't ever want to see with our federation again, because man, your health is critical to us. Making sure that you have exactly what's supposed to be on that bar. And if a lifter wants a loading chart at any one of our meets, we're going to have it, just to make sure that, say, your coach or your teammate or even your mom or dad, whoever's helping you, can identify, hey, yeah, that's right, it's loaded. Again, peace of mind. Now, go ahead.
I just want to say, at your meets, something I've noticed, being in other federations, is that the lifters in 365 strong are all there for each other. I've seen where lifters that are doing bench press only at the meet, but other guys are squatting, work the monolift. Most people are not going to work the monolift before they bench. That's an amazing thing.
Right.
that I've seen in your federation, which I love about it, because everybody lifts everybody up. Everybody's paying attention and reading on the lifters. It's pretty awesome that we get to walk out to our own songs. You let us choose that. It's a great environment. And the thing is, with looking back on Coach, there's some places where he can't warm up on a regular bench. He has to warm up on the bench that's actually being used at the meet, because of the amount of weight he's doing. And for you guys to allow that is amazing, because if he warms up on something else, it's putting his health to risk, and the same thing with me. It's you guys do an amazing job. I'm blessed, to do this interview for you guys and to compete at your meets. It's been a true blessing, and I thank you for that.
I appreciate those comments. Obviously our primary objective is to put you in a position to be successful. And that's all anybody can ask.
Absolutely.
Is to have that, let's say, environment that you can excel in. Now, do you all listen to Earth, Wind, and Fire when you're training with Bill?
Yes, it's 1970s disco music. The funny thing about that is, when I coach, it's the same stuff. And when I lift, that's the only thing I listen to when I lift now, because I've been in that mentality for so long. Listening to anything else, it throws me off. I've downloaded all the 1970s disco music you can think of. KC and the Sunshine Band, the Gap Band. I got them all. The Ohio Players.
Was your dad into that?
No way.
He's
No
a rocker?
way.
Your dad a rocker?
It's more of a country. Hank
Country
Williams
rock.
Jr.
Yeah.
Yes, somewhere, Molly Cruz, Cinderella, stuff like that. My mom likes it a lot. My sister and brother, they can't stand it.
So, yeah, that's an interesting household.
It is. I'm very blessed. My mom and dad have worked their butts off for everything. Me and my brother and sister have. My brother went through a traumatic football injury. He almost lost his leg. He took a cheap shot in his junior year, breaking his leg. Came back his senior year and led my former high school, Jefferson Forest, to beat Salem first time in school history. Salem is the Alabama of high school sports in this area. And, it was a blessing for him to come back and play like he did. And my sister works in the hospital, for her to go through everything that's going on. And, it's a blessing that she's been able to have an impact there, put all the hard work with this COVID thing going on, putting herself at risk each and every day. So I'm very honored and blessed for the family that God has put me in. My grandmother has had a major impact on me. She's helped me get through college and everything. And I'm so grateful for the people that have been put in my life to be at the point where I'm at. You know, God has put Coach Gillespie in my life to become a better person, a better coach. Coach Watts, our head football coach at Liberty High School, he's a legend in this area of football. He's been at the same school for a very long time. He's won a state championship. I've learned a lot from under him. When I was coaching at my high school, Jefferson Forest, Coach Christmas, he's now at Amherst, has helped me a lot. Tremendous man. You know, just this whole area, it's got tremendous people. Lynchburg has got amazing people. And, you know, the Seminole District, in my opinion, the area football district is the SEC of high school football in the state of Virginia. No questions asked. By far, there's amazing people, amazing athletes that have come out of this district. You know, you got legendary coaches. Coach Rocco at LCA has done an amazing job. He's built an amazing program. Coach Bradley at Heritage won a state championship 2 years ago. You know, Coach Woody, he's won tons of state championships. Coach Meeks, you know, I've learned something from all those guys, and for them to, you know, to be humble enough to talk to me, it's amazing. And I'm truly blessed for everything that God has put in my life and the great people that I've been around.
And now you're going to be able to hand it forward yourself to so many other kids that are on their way up in life, in sport, whatever. So it's a special opportunity that you've had, but you realize it, and you absorb so much at your age and can start really passing it forward.
You know, my cousin said, you know, something, I go down to my cousin. He's a very amazing, godly man. His name is Daniel Garner. We just go down and talk sometimes at my grandparents' farm. And, you know, he said, for something that really struck me was, you know, he goes, you have to learn to humble yourself to learn. You have to put away your pride to learn stuff. And, you know, that's something I've looking back on, I've done. You know, I've not always been, you know, I've not always made the right decisions. You know, you have to go through hard times to learn, to struggle. You have to struggle to gain strength. And in the same way under the bar, when you're bench pressing, you have to struggle to gain strength. And the same goes for in life as well. There's going to be great days, then there's going to be really, really bad days. When you keep your faith in the Lord, our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, you'll make it through it. He promises you. You just got to keep the faith. Now, you know, I haven't always been perfect. I've ruined a ton of relationships. There's people out there that can't stand to be around me, but that's fine. You know, I still love them in the word of Christ. And it just, again, you know, it's been an amazing blessing. And I pray that I do have a impact on everybody around me. You know, my church I go to, they're actually called Impact Church. You know, we meet right up here.
They are paying you for that advertising, aren't they?
Yeah. And, you know, it's all about making an impact for Christ. And that's what I'm trying to do, you know, even though may be struggles in there, but it's all worth it at the end of the day.
Now, you've talked about your physical preparation. Talk about your mental preparation as you're approaching that, let's say, that meet bench. Where's your head?
So the only thing I'm concerned about is when I'm preparing for a meet is making my opener. I don't tell anybody my opening attempt. I may tell Coach Gillespie or Jacob, but I don't tell anybody. Somebody at the meet goes, "Hey, what are you hoping to get?"
You told me, man.
I tell you. I tell you the
Okay.
answer. Good point. But I don't tell anyone, you know, somebody in my family, "Hey, what are you planning to get?" I just say the simple answer. I'm getting my opener. That's it. I don't tell them the number because it just keeps me focused on, hey, just make your opening attempt and you can have fun with the next 2 to 3 attempts. I think so many people get focused on the point, hey, I'm going to meet, I'm gonna open up 500 and get it. But, you know, it's about winning. You know, so many people are record chasers. I'm honestly not a record chaser. I want to get to the meet and get the first place trophy.
Get a W, yeah.
Yeah, I want to win. I'm all about winning. I like to win. So, getting records along that way is a blessing. But I like going home with that first place trophy a lot better. So when I mentally prepare, I only think about the opener. And also, I don't waste any energy. At the meets, you've probably seen, I'm by myself. I don't talk to anybody. I like to be alone at the meets. I don't waste any energy on anything. I don't scream, yell, any of that. And I think that's a problem some people do, is they get so psyched up that they lift themselves, they psych themselves out of the lift. You can't do that. You gotta save your energy for those 5 seconds when you're on the platform.
Yeah, especially when a meet lasts 6, 7, 8 hours.
Especially if you're doing full power.
Yeah. What's next? I mean, you mentioned the world bench face-off. Do you have a goal? Do you have something that you're shooting for? Hey, it's out there in the universe. Besides 600 pounds. What's next?
My ultimate goal one day is to bench press 700. Whether it be in 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. I've always wanted to bench 700 single ply at 198. Another lifter that's had a major impact on me, other than Coach Gillespie, is a guy named Adam Mamola. I've learned a lot from Adam. He's been a huge inspiration to me in my bench pressing career. I try to emulate how he bench presses. He competes in the IPF and everything. And so when I seen him bench 700 for the first time, I was like, wow, that's what I want to do one day, is to bench 700 like he did. And I pray that one day it will happen. And I feel pretty confident that I'm on the right track to do so.
Oh, yeah. I mean, keep progressing like you are. It'll be like next July.
Yes.
But, yeah. Let's see here. Is there anything else that you'd like to share with the group since they're tuning in today? And
I think the biggest thing I want to share is, have faith in the Lord. If you do not know the Lord, I pray that you go to a church, talk to a preacher, or even contact me somehow, and I'll share the gospel with you. Also, have fun what you do. I've been to, my first 2 years in powerlifting, I was just trying to progress so fast that I was, I got tired. I went to a point where I thought about just quitting powerlifting. After 3 years of doing it, I kind of got sick and tired of it because I was stressing myself out too much to progress. And I took a step back and said, hey, let's just have fun. It's at the end of the day, who cares? Let's go out there and have fun, be around great people, enjoy what you do, and, encourage other people. Don't put down people. You want to be competitive at the meets and everything, but, there's a time and place for that. Enjoy and give back to the community as much as you can in the world of powerlifting and everything else as well. So that's all.
That's great advice. That's one thing that we want to continue to emphasize at our meets is, pull for each other. It's not sometimes you against somebody else, it's you against the weight. And that doesn't even have a heart, So bring it, but enjoy it. Be passionate about it. Enjoy and win the day. Through Christ, through your experiences with others, and your own experience.
Also, don't worry about the gear. If you're a raw lifter, hey, be a raw lifter. If you're a gear lifter, be a geared lifter, and don't cut on the other lifter. I don't cut on raw lifters. I tell you what, raw lifters these days are amazing. You got guys that are in the 181 class benching over 450. It's unreal. I support the raw guys 100%. It's just not something I don't do, and the full power guys, they're amazing. Hey, I may do a full power meet in the future one day, probably not. But hey, support each other, whether it be multiply, single ply, raw classic, whatever it may be. Just to support each. We're all lifters, and whether it's Olympic weightlifting or not, we're all in this together to have fun and to compete.
Well, unifying, everyone, no matter if it's tested, untested, no matter uh, raw classic or single ply, multiply, unlimited, whatever. Uh, everyone is a strength athlete having fun, and however they choose, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, because you compete against like competition. You're not going to compete against raw, and you're not going to compete against multiply. Why not multiply? I was going to ask you.
Okay, I did get a multiply shirt, and it scared me to death, to be honest. I just don't think multi's for me because I love how the katana. I really love Titan equipment. They do an amazing job. I love how the katana feels on me. I've tried on the different shirts,
Right.
all them. They just didn't feel comfortable to me. So the multiply shirt, maybe one day in the future, but right now I'm just having way too much fun with the katanas.
Has Bill kind of been pressing you to do more multiply?
Yeah, he's every day he try to guilt trips me into say, hey, you'd be a lot better if you did this. He's very good at that. I give him credit.
Yeah, I hear you. But bear with me here. I want to go through a couple of upcoming events.
Okay.
We've got July 11th, which is this Saturday. We've got John Borik's Backyard Challenger in Concord. And then on July 25th at the Grind in Evansville, Indiana, we've got another Backyard Challenger, and our last backyard meet will be at Muzz's Gym in North Wilkesboro. And that's coming up August 1st. And then we go back into our regular season schedule. On August 22nd, we've got the Kentucky Power Revolution in Greensburg, Kentucky. And then on September 19th in Charlotte, we have the Strength Fest at Pride Conditioning. And that will be, I believe they may have weightlifting, powerlifting for sure, kettlebell, and strongman, and maybe CrossFit. So all those events will be taking place that Saturday at Pride Conditioning. And it's literally going to be a 4 or 5 ring circus. So you got to check that out. The Battle of the Bar Benders will be in Portsmouth, Ohio. And that'll be October 3rd at Bar Benders Gym and Supplement Shop in Portsmouth. And then coming up October 17, 18 are the World Powerlifting Games and the World Bench Face-Off here in Charlotte. So, Lucas, I want to thank you. I want to thank your sharing with myself and everybody tuning in today. And we're going to have to do this again down the road.
Thank you. Thank you for the wonderful meets. I'm looking forward to the World Bench Face-Off. All you 198 single-ply guys, come out there. Let's go
so
at it.
You're laying out a challenge?
I'm laying out a challenge.
Okay. I hear you.
I think we're going to try to do something huge at that
Okay.
meeting. I'm not going to tell you the number, but I'm planning something big, and I just
You'll tell me at weigh-in.
Yeah, I'll tell you at weigh-ins.
Okay.
But all you 198 single-ply benchers, come on out. Hey, come after me. Come after the record and have some fun. I'm looking forward to it. As I want to thank 365 Strong Nation. Thank Bill and all the people that run this federation. Thank all the lifters out there. thank, my mom and dad, Coach Gillespie, Adam, and all those have made a major impact on my lifting career. Most of all, thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Give all the glory to Him in my lifting. So I thank you again, Bill. Thank you for this opportunity.
And, have a great day. Have a great workout today.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And I'll talk to you again soon. Take care.
Have an amazing day. See you. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.